Good morning. Let us discuss about 30th May 2015 newspaper over here. The first one is about the growth of Indian economy vis-a-vis China. So IMF has projected that Indian economy is going to overtake the China this fiscal year. But however, India did not grow as expected and it has grew at 7.3% and a bit less than China. That is first point. The positive side of this is the manufacturing sector grew at a higher level, that is 7.1%. So what is that? Manufacturing sector, it means that increased employability. So it means that we are on path towards the inclusive growth. And second thing is the capital formation. It determines the savings rate and investments. Which determines the investments. So this has decreased from 29.7% to 28.7%. Now it means that the amount of capital necessary for domestic capacity building in production is decreasing. Now on the other hand, if you see the sectors of growth, on whatever the sectors we are depending on the international market and unpredictable monsoons, they are coming down. The international markets are not yet fully recovered. So because of this, the exports did not boom at. And the next is, with regard to agriculture, as unpredictable monsoons reduced the agricultural production also. So other than on international trade front and agriculture, we did generally good with regard to this year concerned. So Mr. Arvind Subramanian, the economic advisor, said the good days are yet to come. So as of now, we can still call Indian economy as a recovering economy. It means that the next fiscal is going to be better than this. And the second is civil servant and minister relationship. So this is a very good article for public administration students and also for GS governance issues. Any minister and civil servant relationship, it is guided by principle of neutrality and anonymity. Now in this context, there has to be a relationship that is based on trust and confidence and also a mutual respect. It means the civil servant shall be able to give honest, unbiased opinion. He shall act as an able advisor to his minister who is a layman, and he has to use his professionalism, professional knowledge to guide him towards proper decision. And the minister has to safeguard the interests of his civil servant and protect him from unnecessary public glare. Now this particular relationship is weakening these days. If you take what is the landmark in this? Up to 1975, this relationship enjoyed a certain amount of professionalism. After 1975, after the emergency especially, the personal loyalties mattered more than the organizational loyalties. Unquestioned loyalties, obedience became the criteria for appointing the people as the secretaries. And the trust in the organization is replaced with confrontation and neutrality replaced with commitment. So Indira Gandhi herself has called for committed bureaucracy. So later she has readjusted her statements, but however, the committed bureaucracy is generally taken in a negative sense. And the politicization of bureaucracy in the long run, it is going to have many negative consequences with regard to the morality and integrity of the services. And another thing which has majorly influenced this is coalition politics. In the coalition politics, every minister became the prime minister of concerned department, and the central authority of the prime minister as primus inter pares has weakened, and also his no risk attitude or else so silence on various issues which are happening around him led to the bypassing, or it went down the hierarchy. So everywhere the risk taking attitude has decreased. So the proactiveness decreased in the administration. It means the Prime Minister as the head of the government, he sets the tone of his administration. So, lack of initiative, lack of support from the Prime Minister for the civil servants is one of the reasons why they became stooges, or they became the loyalists of the minister. And second thing is, the government did not function as one single unit because local satraps or party leaders, they became the determinants of the policies. So Dayanidhi Maran, he has clearly said, I am the Prime Minister of Telecom Department. That's an example that shows that to what extent the division or the cabinet form of government has weakened in India. Now in this context, the second is coalition governments also has provided the concept of political rehabilitation. It means that if you are being inducted or if you are being levied with certain charges, the CBI is being used or misused to rehabilitate you or to punish you. So the CBI, the misuse of the CBI and loss of professionalism on this investigative agency, this is the major drawback in India. This is the investigative agency on which Lokpal depends, Supreme Court depends, CVC depends, even Government of India depends. So, making the CBI as a caged parrot, using it for settling the political scores, that is going to undermine the so-called as fairness of investigative process. And in this context, we have to understand that governance in any country is a cooperative enterprise. It is a cooperation between politics and bureaucracy, center and the states, the government past and present. All this cooperation makes one single organic whole, and it determines the will and spirit of our political system. So, let's see it as a cooperative enterprise. And if you see that the minister-civil servant relationship, it marks the highest in proper functioning of the governance. Next is, as I said, the cooperative relationship or cooperative enterprise between past and present. So, there is an invitation invited, or Mr. Manmohan Singh was invited by Prime Minister Modi for a formal meeting and a chit-chat on various economic and foreign policies. So this continuum in essentiality and sharing of good relations and warmth that provides for an active polity. And the second thing is the Arun Jaitley and Chidambaram relationship. And added to that, previously Vajpayee, PV Narasimha Rao and other his colleagues' relationships. All this shows that there is something called political continuity which is maintained in the country. Next is the Gujars issue. Anything which is based on a caste or ascriptive factors such as religion, it is going to be a vicious cycle and a downward spiral. Now the Gujars agitation is one such a thing. So the previous government, that is BJP government in 2003, it has promised the 5% reservations to the Gujars. So they have created separate or special backward classes and they have provided for this reservation. Now because of this, the total reservations have crossed the upper ceiling of 50%. Now in this context, the High Court of Rajasthan quashed that as unconstitutional. Now, the government plans to keep it under 9th schedule, where the judicial review do not come into existence. So again, this particular Gujars taking up to the streets every time whenever there is a demand, or to meet their demands and choking the important rail and road networks, it shows that the state is giving away for the demands. So anything where the state shows succumbs to mob pressure will ultimately result in lawlessness. The steelness or the strength of the state and its ability to deal with various sections of the people due to these populist demands that provides for the right president in the country. So on the other hand, so on issues of populism and mob culture, if they are allowed to grow, ultimately they are going to undermine the parliamentary democracy, and the decisions will be made on the streets on the pressure of the people rather than through the elected representatives and their and the houses where they are sitting in. Next is with regard to the caste. This is again a beautiful article. So, though it talks about the marriage institution or transgenders, the article is majorly is about caste. Now, if you see, in India, constitution abolished the untouchability. But however, there is a fine difference between caste pride and caste prejudice. Taking assertiveness in my own caste, it is not illegal in this country. On the other hand, developing hatred towards other caste and indulging in violence definitely is unconstitutional. Indian constitution do not ban something called as expression or outward expression of manifestation of the caste in society. It means a casteist person, if he asserts his caste, that is not unconstitutional in this country. So an outward manifestation of superiority of one individual over the other individual, so to one or the other form, is not being totally banned in this country. Now in this context, how the caste is changing. The sociologist Deepankar Gupta, what he says is this: the caste has died long back in India. Caste system got collapsed in India, especially in urban centers. What we have is the caste identities in India now. It is no more caste hierarchy. What we have is the caste identity. So the caste hierarchy, etc., it is a phenomenon concerned with untouchability. Caste identity is a socio-political choice. So now, the caste has to do more with the subjective political choices or social political choices for people in their public life. So the assertions with regard to the welfare based on the caste, so the political representation based on the caste, ministerial berths based on the caste, these are increasing. So the caste identity, people trying to project their caste identity in an assertive manner to gain space in the social and political life of this country. Now in this context, let's extend this to the marriage, concept of marriage. Now as you see the matrimonial advertisements, so they say that so any person from the upper caste is invited, but except the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. It means that the caste hierarchy is still present, but however at the upper caste level, there is a horizontal integration related to the caste. But as you come to the hierarchy, still this vertical integration is missing in this country. So it means the horizontal unity has occurred across the upper caste, but not vertical unity among the various lower castes and upper castes, if we have to define. The other part of this is this: the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, these are legally developed terms to provide for various benefits. Now these have become the outward expressions with regard to the manifestation of caste in the society. Now, in this context, the constitutional terms of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, instead of becoming the tools of empowerment of the people and the societal structure, they are also becoming the tools of prejudice against the lower caste. So this is what the article talks about. So the beautiful point which I liked over here is the caste identities. The caste identities, so they are strengthening, the caste system is weakening. So in the interview, when I went there, I got a question about this. So what do you think about the caste nowadays? Now I said the exactly same statement and I do got very good marks in that interview. So the caste system is weakening, but the caste identities are strengthening. And next is, with regard to the United States, when President Obama visited in India January, we have cleared certain aspects in the highest meeting between Obama and Prime Minister Modi. So the major irritants in the Civil Liability for Nuclear Damage Act of India was section 17B and 46. What the industry says is, there is no clarity on this section 17B and 46 even today. That's what is the industry talks about. And next is, The Sundarbans health ills. So a new way of study of this is started, that is called a photo voice. Try to understand what is this photo voice. So as a study method they have started this photo voice. Now I have tried something new today. So every day I prepare this particular notes before giving you the class. The reason is it will not kill my time, or it makes me too precise with regard to the issues I talk to you. So just wanted to review the notes which I also made for you. The first thing is the revamp of National Optical Fiber Network as BharatNet. So on the information technology front, so the NOFN was launched when the objectives of information technology are relatively not as strong as this. So 100 Mbps lines will be changed to much higher connectivity in the rural areas. So the reliability, speed of connectivity, security of the connectivity will be improved under the BharatNet. And next is with regard to nuclear energy. So the 17B and the section 46 of the Civil Liability of Nuclear Damages Act 2010, they are in use. And caste and changing character. So the caste identity is becoming more important than the following rigid application of the caste system. And also the SC/ST, this categorization, legal categorization also leading to prejudice against many castes. And reservations. So the reservations are anything or political motivation or mobilization based on caste will ultimately have a downward spiral, and states succumbing to this group pressure or mob pressure will ultimately question the legitimacy of the state. That is what is this. And next is on the caged parrots and the steel frame. The article talks about the neutrality of the civil servant, and added to that civil servant and minister relationship, the coalition politics and how the coalition politics are weakening the prime minister position. And the third thing, it talked about the misuse of the CBI. So in this case what it suggested is bringing the centrality of the prime minister's authority back, and the CBI has to be made independent. The selection of the various higher positions of the CBI shall be just based on merit and character and integrity. So this is what is Mr. Raghavan article says about. So thank you very much. Bye bye.